Thank you guys for tuning in to my YouTube channel. Alright, before we get into it, I want you guys to hit that subscribe button. Just go ahead and murder that subscribe button. Now that we got that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into it. So basically, I want to talk to you guys about the invention of J.B. Allen, the black inventor who made laundry day easier. When we think about inventions that change everyday life, we often think about washing machines, refrigerators, or electric dryers. But before any of the modern conventions existed, families depended on much simpler systems to dry their clothes, the clotheslines. For generations, people washed clothes by hand and hung them outside to dry. While those sound simple, it came with a surprise number of problems. Clotheslines sagged, poles bent, ropes snapped, and heavy loads of wet clothing often caused the entire line to droop towards the ground. One inventor looked into the common problem and decided there had to be a better way. This inventor looked into the common problem and decided there had to be a better way. That inventor was J.B. Allen, an African-American inventor who inventions the clothesline support helped make one of life's most routine chores more efficient and reliable. Let's talk about who was J.B. Allen. Unfortunately, as with many black inventors from the late 1900s and the early 20th century, historical records about J.B. Allen's personal life are limited. We do know that he was creative. He was a creative thinker who identified practical problems and developed solutions for them. And inventions was patented during the time when African Americans faced tremendous social and economical barriers. This was the era of segregation. Many black inventors had limited access to education, business opportunities, financial resources, professional networks. Despite those obstacles, Allen succeeded in securing the United States patent for his inventions. That achievement alone required determination, technical knowledge, and confidence in his ideas. His patent served as proof that black inventors were contributing to American innovations even when their accomplishments often went unnoticed. Life beyond the invention. Let's talk about it. To appreciate Allen's invention, you must first have the understanding laundry day in the early 1900s. Today, many people simply move clothes from a washer to the dryer. But back then, washing clothes was hard work. Families would heat water manually, scrub clothes by hand, rinse garments multiple times, wring out excess water, hang everything outside to dry. Wet clothes is surprisingly heavy. A single basket soaked with water could weigh several pounds. When multiple garments were hung on a clothing line, the line would often sag. This created several problems. Clothes touching the ground as the line drooped. Clean clothes could drag through dirt, mud, or grass. Uneven drying. Sagging caused clothes to bunch together and reduce airflow. Structural failure. Supports could bend and break under heavy loads. Constant maintenance. Families frequently had to adjust or tighten their clothing lines. This was a common frustration in the household across America. Allen saw a solution. Most people accepted those inconveniences as a part of the daily life. J.B. Allen did not. He looked at the problem and asked, how can I make clothesline stronger, more stable, and more dependable? His answer was the clothesline support. What was the clothesline support? Let's talk about it. Allen designed a supported structure that helped keep clotheslines elevated and properly supported. The invention acted as a stabilizing system that prevented excessive sagging. Think of it as giving the clothing line a backbone. Instead of allowing the rope to stretch downward under the weight of wet clothes, the support helped distribute the load more evenly. That kept the line higher, straighter, stronger, more stable. Let's talk about how did it work. The exact patent contained several mechanical details, but the basic ideas were straightforward. The invention included a strong vertical support post. The central post provided stability and strength. Horizontal arms. These extended outward to support the clothing line. The arms help maintain the tension across the line. Reinforcement braces. Additional support prevented bending and twisting. Objective features. Some elements could be adjusted to accommodate different clothing lines, length, and configurations. Together, those components created a more dependable drying system. Why was this important? At the first glance, supporting clothing line may seem like a small improvement, but good inventions often solve everyday problems. Allen's inventions offered several practical benefits. Cleaner clothing. By reducing sagging, clothes stayed off the ground. Better airflow. Properly suspended garments dried more evenly and quickly. Increased capacity. Families could hang more clothes without worrying about the line collapsing. Improving durability. The support reduces wear and tear on the clothing line's ropes. Less rope, less work. People spent less time adjusting and repairing their drying system. This improves save time and effort for countless households. The genius behind the idea. What makes Allen's invention impressive isn't complexity, it's an observation. Inventors often succeed because they notice problems that everyone else ignores. Thousands of people use clotheslines every day. Most complain when they sag. Allen adjusted a solution. Imagine a solution. That's the difference between seeing a problem and solving one. A bigger story about innovation. Allen's patent represented something larger than a clothesline. It represented the spirit of inventions. Many famous inventors were not dramatically breakthroughs. They were practical improvements that made everyday life easier. The clothing line support belongs in that category. It addressed a real need, it solved a real problem, and it improved daily life for ordinary people. Black inventors in everyday life. J.B. Allen's work also reminds us that African American inventors contribute nearly every aspect of Americans' life. Black inventors created an innovation in transportation, agriculture, medicine, household equipment, manufacturing, communication. Many of these inventions focus on making daily tasks safer, faster, and more efficient. Allen's clothing line support fits perfectly within that tradition. His story teaches several valuable lessons. Great ideas often start small. Not every invention changes the world overnight. Some simply make life a little easier. Innovations began with observations. Allen noticed a common problem and chose to solve it. Practical solutions matter. The best inventions are often the ones people use every day. Persistence creates opportunity. Let's talk about it. Obtaining a patent during that era was not easy, especially for an African American inventor. Allen's success reflects determination and belief in his idea. His lasting legacy. Let's talk about it. Although history preserved only limited information about J.B. Allen himself, his patent ensures that contributions will not be forgotten. His clothing line support transformed a simple household tool into something stronger and more effective. More importantly, he reminds us that innovation is not always about creating something entirely new. Sometimes it's just about taking something ordinary and making it better. J.B. Allen saw a sagging clothing line and envisioned a solution. That simply act of creativity earned him a place among the many black inventors whose ideas improved everyday life and helped shape the world we live today. His invention may have supported clothing lines, but his story continues to support a much larger truth. Great ideas can come from anyone, anywhere, when they choose to see possibilities where others only see problems. At the end of the day, let me know what you guys think. Drop your comments in the comment section, hit that thumbs up button, and I'm out.